So it really feels like spring today. Debbie and I have been out for a lovely walk along the beach. But tomorrow there's a storm brewing, so I've just popped down to the allotment to close up. But I thought also, as I was walking here, I was thinking, well, I'm almost fully planted now for spring. So I've still got plenty of planting to do in spring, but almost everything that I'll be harvesting in spring is now planted up. And I've just planted a quick bed of beetroot. I need to interplant that with some radishes, and I've got those just down here by the side of me. And I've got some pea shoots to pop in, and I've got some really nice little early kales to go in as well. And one last batch of carrots, and then I shall be done. So I'm just going to do the carrots, and I'll show you how to do that, because I like to do my carrots as simple as possible. Normally I like to plant them in the ground, but this year I'm a bit short of space in the ground, so I'm going to try doing quite a lot of them in containers. And I've done this, many times in the past, and I've got quite a few containers actually right now that have got plenty of carrots in. But I've never done them in the kind of peak time, so in the sort of May, June time frame. I've always generally done carrots in that period in the ground, so we'll see how that goes. So these are the containers that I'm sowing into, fairly deep enough anyway for the young little carrots that I'm going to be sowing today. Not young little carrots, for the short carrot varieties. So I'm doing Amsterdam forcing, short and sweet, and early Nance, and Royal Chantenay. I can't pronounce that. Royal something. Anyway, those are the ones. I'm doing half of them in these containers, and the others I'm trying out these little tiny hanging baskets. I'm just going to see what they're like. Who knows what's going to happen, but I just kind of fancy having carrots in hanging baskets. I've just wanted to do it for a few years now and never got around to it, so I thought I would try the little ones. The really small ones in these, just to see what happens. So the compost I've used for these carrots is just this Grow More multi-purpose. It's already got quite a lot of fertiliser in it, and so I don't think I need to add anything. But as I said, half of the containers I've just put half a handful of bloodfish and bone in, as well as this. So yeah, we'll see whether additional nutrients helps. Generally speaking, it doesn't, because too many nutrients means too much top growth. But anyway, we'll see. So I've given these containers a really good water, because it's often difficult to get water right down to the bottom of the container. So I filled it up to about there and watered it, filled it up to there and watered it, filled it up to there and watered it. So it is well saturated all the way through. So I just sprinkle my seeds on here. Seeds are effectively free, aren't they? So I don't bother with the quantity. I always put way too many down, and I'll just give them a thin once they're ready. There's an example that I thinned about a month ago, and I'm looking for 2 to 3 square inches per carrot. I don't fuss too much about it. There's plenty of carrots in there. I'm not worried about exact spacing or anything. So what I then do is I just get some compost and just sprinkle it over the top. If there's any big lumps in like that, then I'll just throw those out, but generally speaking it's fine. Obviously I'll do it a bit quicker than this normally, but I'm doing it one-handed, and then I'll just smooth it out to about 1 centimetre. There was a time when I would sort of take more care over this process, and I would, make little depressions and put, 2 or 3 seeds in each depression, and, just everything was measured out and all that sort of thing. But I realised over the years, none of that is necessary. This system works absolutely fine. So basically like that. So here's a couple more examples of them sown like that. Looks okay to me. So I also like doing carrots in containers sort of later in the season so I can grow them on in the polytunnel. So there's a good crop of carrots in here. These will be ready for harvest kind of the end of March, just going into April. I've got another one on here just sort of stacked up. They're all looking okay, but as I said, I really like just sticking them in the ground, and this is the bed that we're going to be harvesting in March. You do just get such lovely carrots from the ground, I think. I just pulled that little one up. I'm going to eat that now. So I'll just give it a bit of a water. Doesn't need too much, as I said, because it's all nicely watered already. It's going to stay in here, and this is where I'm going to grow in my summer carrots on top of my IBC tanks. Now I'm just going to put these little blocks on here just to level it up to the same level. I have high hopes for this because it will mean that the actual top of the container is going to be about 6 foot high, and I think that's high enough for the carrot fly. And for carrots sown at this time of year, it's kind of the worst time for carrot fly as well, because they're going to be at their most tempting in sort of late April, early May, when carrot fly is at its absolute peak. Things sown sort of June time, not so bad for carrot fly, but carrot fly are low flying rather, and so I'm hoping 6 foot is enough. I have found that lower than that, for example on top of my compost bins, that isn't high enough to guarantee that you won't get a problem with carrot fly. Just the wind just blows them up. Yeah, anyway, here's hoping. So the two main tricks when germinating carrots are to keep the carrot seeds moist at all times. Now at this time of year that's generally not a problem, but if you were sowing these in summer, you could just put a hessian cloth or plastic bag or something like that over the top just to keep the moisture levels high. And second tip is slugs love baby carrot seedlings, so it is worth putting 2 or 3 slug pellets in here just in case. That's what I'm going to do. So these are the hanging basket ones, short and sweet, Royal Sea and Cosmic Purple. And this experiment is basically to see if I can grow lots of little salad carrots in a little container like this. Not really for this time of year because I'm going to have loads of carrots, but for later on in the season, so something perhaps sown in August to be harvested, say in November time, that sort of thing. So I've just popped these up in the roof of the polytunnel. I think they should do well up here. The strawberries are coming on nicely up here as well. Now I should just point out that these are old seeds from last year, and as a result I've really oversown them, so I will have quite a bit of thinning to do if they all germinate. It's very unlikely they will all germinate though, so hopefully I should have enough. And I should also say that my kind of, I don't know, quick and dirty approach to sowing seeds might not be to everybody's taste, and so if you want to see somebody sowing with a bit more precision, somebody who's really careful about what they do, then Ronald Shaw is a great one to look at, and I'll put a link to his carrot sowing video in the description of this video. There's actually quite a lot more to sowing carrots, especially if you want them all year round. So I've written a growing guide as part of my ebook, and there's a section here, growing carrots all year round, and this goes kind of through everything I can think of, and it does really focus on year-round growing challenges, but it does cover, you know, basic summer growing as well. There's the peak look that I was talking about in terms of carrot fly, and quite a nasty peak in mid-May, and then another one in sort of early to mid-August. So those are the times to really watch out for carrot fly, but they're around all the time. Anyway, I go through everything: sowing, timings, watering, fertiliser, thinning, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, there are a few considerations that are important when you're trying to grow carrots all year round. So take a look at this little ebook if that's of interest to you. So I hope you like this quick video. My name's Steve. This is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.